One Piece chapter 1086 is out, and let's read it. So I am on the TCB scans page. I've clicked the chapter. I've clicked on the chapter. I haven't read the chapter title yet. Ads are showing. Yes, the chapter is finally loaded. Let's go. One Piece chapter 1086. Weekly Jump. The Shonen Jump cover this week is awesome. Luffy and Garp and Kobe. We have a color page. We have a color page. It says no rain, no rainbow. Okay. No rain, no rainbow. There's Brooke. There's Robin, Nami, Sanji, Chopper with a raccoon, I'm assuming. There's a frog, Frankie on a cycle. That is a mm, very cute page. Let's start the chapter. Okay, and so the curtains drew. And so the curtains drew closed on the reverie before the news of King Cobra's murder came to light. Uh, there's the chapter title. Chapter 1086. The Five Elder Planets. Are we going to get more lore on the Gorosei? This is Princess Vivi of Arabasta. Hasn't anyone seen her? Igaram, this Chaka. Where is the king? Has his condition worsened? Oh, they don't know what has happened to Cobra. All the while, a number of stowaways held their breath as they attempted to escape on various royal vessels. This Wapol and Vivi. Hey, whose ship is this? The Aegis Kingdoms? The Aegis Kingdom? Cypherpole Aegis Zero? Aegis? We are on Aegis ship, Morgans. Oh yes, obviously. Um, Wapol is communicating with Morgans, as we saw in um, chapter 1055 or 56 it was. We are on Aegis ship, Morgans. Gotcha. We'll fly our headquarters over and pretend to look for a scoop. Use that chance to hop aboard and don't get yourself caught before then. I owe you one. You got that right. A king somehow became the subject of a manhunt. This is big news. I can't wait to hear all about it. So, what exactly did you see in there, Vapul? Vapul is absolutely terrified. Like I tell you, leave me alone and go back to your own ship. I can't. CP0 is no joke. Now that they're after me, it won't matter how much everyone tries to help. Those agents won't rest till I'm back in their custody. Now let me borrow your transponder snail. I need to talk to my father as soon as possible. He's a total worrywart. We doesn't know. We doesn't know yet that Cobra is dead. I'm assuming Wapol tells her. Anything but that. Get lost already. What's wrong with you? We see um, Cypher, a Cypher Pole Zero agent with Vivi's poster. There's Telly. Another agent with Sabo's poster. This Bonnie. I'm hungry. Tajine Kingdom's ship. Hat section. Tajine Kingdom's ship. So Bonnie is on the Tajine Kingdom ship. Okay. If I can't make it to Lulusha, uh, the Sabo. Lulusha Kingdom ship. So this is how Sabo made it to Lulusha. If I can just make it to Lulusha, I know I can figure something out. I'm counting on you, Sabo-kun. You must live on. Rest in peace, Cobra. It didn't take long for the two key stories to spread across the globe. The murder of King Cobra of Arabasta and the disappearance of his daughter, Princess Vivi, the Holy Land of Marishua. The Gorosei, the man they call Sabo. He seems to have a checkered fate. How else can you account him for constantly being surrounded by those who bear the letter D? I was hoping we would be able to see to the egghead issue now, but it seems that dealing with this complication will have with this complication we have to take priority. Ring, pur, the transporter scene. Yes, great Emu. So Emu is calling the Gorosei. Pangaea Castle Flower Room. So I am assuming that um, this flower room is the Phantom Room. So Emu says, the time has come to put Vegapunk's invention to the test. Use the mother flame. Is he referring to that thing that decimated Lucia? It is true, we haven't had the chance to try it out before now. So there is no way to ascertain its effectiveness yet. So what, you're going to try it on a bunch of random civilians? Depending on how well the experiment goes, Egghead may reconsider its response. I think a forest area would be a more suitable testing ground than a sea-based target. Lucia Kingdom. Okay, so this is the Lucia thing. Quite a lot of people live there. That is of no consequence. As we all assume, like Emu is ruthless. Emu is ruthless. That is of no consequence. Like millions of people dying of no consequence. Understood. The world moves at the will of the creator. What is the reason for Lucia's selection? Its close proximity. It shall be as you. This is an awesome double spread, and we are getting all of their names. Okay, so J. Garcia Satin says, I will make necessary preparations. I humbly request your patience in the meantime. Defense Science Warrior God. Defense Science Warrior God Saint J. Garcia Saturn. Lucia's citizens have shown sparks of rebellion recently. Environmental Warrior God Saint Marcus Mars. We may be able to make an example out of them. Justice Warrior God Topman Valkyrie. Topman Valkyrie? If we could use, if we could one day use this power freely, finance warrior god Ethan Baron V. Nusjuro. Nusjuro. Ethan Baron V. Nusjuro. We could, okay, so um, Ethan Barron says if we could one day use this power freely, we could instantly snuff out any protracted conflict. So, the thing that they used on Lucia, they cannot use that thing freely. Okay, that explains a lot of things. Like, that explains why this thing wasn't used on O'Hara or possibly God of. Oh, um, there was this theory that um, the thing that was used on Lucia was also used on God Valley. So now that theory is debunked because they're using this for the first time. So, what is his name? Agriculture warrior god, Shepherd Jupiter. Shepherd Jupiter. Jupiter. Shepherd Jupiter. Five defense science warrior god Saint Garcia Saturn. Environmental warrior god Saint Marcus Mars. Justice warrior god Topman Valkyrie. Finance warrior god Ethan Baron V. Nusjuro. Agriculture warrior god Shepherd Jupiter. After about 800 or 900 chapters, we finally have the names of all the Gurus. I am gobsmacked. The chapter continues, and the chapter continues. This is amazing. And again, like an amazing double page spread with like Emu there, then all of the five Gorusei, and we see Leloucha being destroyed as well. One more thing, of course, retrieve Vivi. Emu wants to kidnap Vivi. As you wish. Meanwhile, the kingdom of Tajine and the Aegis kingdom are both rebelling. Meanwhile, between the disbanding of the seven warlords and the uprisings in the government affiliated nations, the Navy has their hands full. However, their military power already gone in a new direction. Okay, so I've read the order boxes. Deploy the Seraphim. There's a Doflamingo Seraphim, there's a Moria Seraphim, and there's a Crocodile Seraphim. So we have the Boa Seraphim, Boa, Kuma, uh, Mihawk, Doflamingo, Moria, Crocodile. So the only one warlord remaining is Weevil or Buggy. Like Buggy was a warlord. Is there going to be a Buggy Seraphim? Doflamingo Seraphim. More like we knew that there probably would be a Doflamingo Seraphim and a Crocodile Seraphim, but to, to see them, the second we talked, oh, okay, so we are back to the um, meeting between Sabo, Ivankov, and Dragon. The second we talked at Lucia, the people arrested King Seki and Prince Komane. Yes, we saw that in chapter 1060. They were just waiting to ambush the royals. Since I was a stowaway, they welcomed me with open arms. That's when I saw the papers, and they found out that they pinned King Cobra's murder on me. And after that, he called them. Unsurprisingly, the people there considered me to be a hero. I wanted, I wanted to tell them the truth, but when I saw how the lie fanned the flames of rebellion within them, the words died in my mouth. Betty and the others had already inspired a lot of them. This Muda, and I ended up bringing many of those hopeful recruits back with me. I couldn't make direct contact without an encryption name, so I rerouted my call through the island while we were setting sail. I knew the government would intercept the signal, but doing it like that was sure to fool them into thinking I was still on Lucia. Smart. That is a very, very smart move. That's a very smart move. However, I was just within range, having already set out to sea with our new enlistees. So the annihilation of Lucia really did happen during that call. So Sabu and everyone else that was on that ship saw everything up close. Yeah, yes, but Sabo says it as well. Like, everyone on board was hysterical. A lot of them had family on the island. They saw their country get obliterated right in front of their eyes. Despicable. How in the world did they do it? An enormous shadow seemed to engulf the sky above us, and the next moment everything was gone. An enormous shadow? Dragon knows something? The, the chapter isn't loading. The chapter isn't loading. Reload, reload, reload. Please. Don't die out on me. Please don't die out on me. Oh, okay. An enormous shadow seemed to know. Oh, that's a really good panel. We see things from Sabo's perspective from outside Lucia as Lucia gets destroyed. And the next moment, everything was gone. An enormous shadow? Dragon knows about this shadow? There is no way it was caused by a living thing or some natural disaster. Something pitch black was flying above the clouds. What is Dragon going to say now? Sabo, earlier you said they used the name Emu. Does Ivankov know something about this? Right. This may be a little out there, but when the world we know was we know today was created 800 years ago, one of the first 20 sovereigns was Saint Evo of House Nerona. House Nerona. Have you heard that before in One Piece? House Nerona? Emo was one of the first 20 sovereigns that created the world government. Um, Obviously, Cobra um, implies this in the last chapter, and Emo just shuts him down. There's a confirmation of that. Ibu was one of the first 20 kings. Then, then why was he allowed to sit on the throne whilst everyone served him? Like, are the five Gorosei like the other of the 20 kings? One of the first 20 sovereigns was Saint Emu of House Nerona. Now look at this. Since we know an ability granting eternal youth, okay, it is eternal youth, it's not immortality, it's eternal youth. Because if it is immortality, then the person can't die. Like if it is eternal youth, then that means that the person will remain in their youth forever until they die. Like they won't grow old. They still can be killed, but they won't grow old. Anyway, since we know an ability granting eternal youth is said to exist, that must mean someone has used it before, right? Which means there's a person out there that doesn't need to worry about death. I'm curious about the dragon panel up there. Where is it an enormous shadow? Please, please, dragon, speak. Say something. So, you think the one I saw is. It could be a coincidence. Maybe they just share the same name, but could anyone else but a founder command the five elder planets, the highest of world nobles? The celestial dragons fancy themselves as the descendants of gods, after all. One more thing. Assuming the object you saw above the clouds was a weapon made by the world government, then the only one capable of creating such a thing would be Vegapunk. And he points at Dragon as he says that. Obviously, because Dragon and Vegapunk like go back a long way. Hold it, Eva. Vegapunk would never intentionally design a dedicated killing machine. I know. So what if it was an ancient weapon? So what if it was an ancient weapon? Assuming Emu has been living since ancient times, there is a connection. Robin told us that the ancient weapons do in fact exist. But if this person had such a weapon, why wait till now to use it? Yes, Dragon talking some sense. Why wait till now to, to use it? Were the conditions prior to this reverie not conducive to use the weapon? Why wait till now to use it? Present day, present day, the holy land of Marijua. A celestial dragon has just been sentenced to death. A celestial dragon has just been sentenced to death. Our food supply is gone. We have no bread. All we have is cake. However, the information will never be reported to the outside world. Obviously, a celestial dragon has been sentenced to death. The judge was. Who is this guy? Like, his hairstyle and beard. It looks like a crescent moon. The judge was the former king of the land known as. The judge was the former king of the land known as God Valley. He currently serves as the supreme commander of God's Knights. His name his name is Saint Garling Figarland. So, these are three crazy order boxes right here. The judge was former king of the land known as God Valley. He is the supreme commander of God's knights. He is the supreme commander of God's knights. So we have one member of the God's knights. His name is Saint Garling Figarland. For those who have watched film Red, the Gorosei speculate whether Shanks, red-haired Shanks, is a descendant of the Figarland line. Is this like Shanks's ancestor or something? The possibilities that open up because of this are insane. So so does this mean that Shanks is actually one of the God's knights? Because if this is Shanks's ancestor, is the king of God Valley, and if this is like Shanks is his guy's descendant, then it might mean that Shanks is actually one of the members of the God's Knight. Saint Garland figure. What is Oda? What the fuck is Oda doing? This is this is insane. I'm assuming that the chapter ends here. Oh, there's another small box. The man sentenced to the execution is none other than the one who chose to defend the fisherman, Saint Don Quixote Musgard. Obviously, obviously, the celestial dragons obviously sentence the person who elects to save like the lowly humans, right? Yes. Okay. And Saint Garling Figureland is a fucking asshole. Anyone who protects scum is lower than the scum they protect. Hmm. Is Shanks a descendant of this guy? Saint Don Saint Don Quixote Musgard is sentenced to death. Oh, and it looks like he's being tortured there. Just when I thought that the celestial dragons won't fall lower in my eyes, this they beat it. One of them tries to correct their ways, and then they just pull that person down. So of the chapter 1086 end, break for 5 weeks. Obviously, um, it was announced this week that uh, um, Oda is going on a 5 week break because of a surgery that he's having in his eye. I guess it was. Like, before I say anything else, my best wishes to Oda. Hope hope he gets well soon, and like take take however long take however long of a break that you want, because you are giving us something insane, something incredible. And like, what a chapter to go on a 5 week break on. What a chapter. So much information, so many cliffhangers, so many lore drops, so many reveals. So many reveals. We have the command of the God's Knights, the first member of the Figureland family. We got the names of all the five Gorosei. We got confirmation that Emu is actually one of the first 20 kings to form the world government. We also found out that the weapon that was used on Lucia was made by Vegapunk, and we also got to know that Emu is a fucking asshole. He just chose the Lucia because it's close. Hmm? Hmm? The people's lives are of no consequence. And then there's this guy, Saint Garling Frigarland, who says anyone who protects scum is lower than the scum they protect. So hmm, the villains of the ultimate battle are being built up. Built up. I'm excited for it, and I feel really sorry for Saint Noseguard here because he did not deserve to be uh, to be sentenced to execution. I I hope someone saves him, but it doesn't look like it. It doesn't look like anyone is going to save him because the reverie is over. Like even Sai and Dio aren't there anymore. So crazy, 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 crazy chapter. Mm, crazy chapter. I have literally no words to say. It's so many questions. So many questions. Some answers have been provided, but there's so many questions that Oda has risen because of the chapter. It is insane. Fikal, the names of the Gorosei. Insane, insane chapter. I'm just rambling. So, bye bye.